Welcome to the show, and it is great to have you tuned in tonight to The Entrepreneur. Now, I'm at the Woodson Airport and I'm headed to see Alex Nyaga, the owner of Parapet Cleaning Service. Alex is the type of entrepreneur who has an enterprise, which is best described as serial entrepreneurship. Oh, here he is. Hi, Alex.
Hi,
it's a pleasure
how
to
are
meet
you? Karibu sana Parapet.
So how did it all begin? How old are you when you were starting Parapet Cleaning Services?
I started this business when I was 22 years. Fresh out of college. I graduated in hotel management. And at that point, when I got back, things were tough. And I had to look for something that I can be able to start off, that I'd gotten some training, at least a skill. Because one of the things that I borrowed a lot from is when you acquire a skill, there's nothing that you're limited to doing. So I looked at what skills had I applied through the years that I'd served doing my hotel management course, and now settled into housekeeping. And that's where housekeeping and that's where Parapet was born from.
You mentioned something that you are pretty young, actually in your early 20s when you're starting this business.
Yes.
Now, how did you get to raise capital at that tender age, may I call it?
Well, raising capital is the biggest challenge that one has to undergo. And I think for me, I had a great desire to be able to do and to run a successful business from the beginning. And what I did is that I shared the same vision with our shareholders, were also the directors of the company. When we shared that vision, they bought into it, and thereafter, then they committed some funds into it, including my own savings, and then we started the business. In business, there is no one who should tell you that everything is all go green. I mean, there is no situation whereby it's all smooth running. It's like a marriage. So it's something that one has to work with and be prepared for. One of the things that you have to happen is that you have to be prepared for disappointments. In business, there is always that deal that has gone wrong, or that kind of contract that has not gone well, and so on and so forth. So for me, I've learned from those mistakes, even during tendering time, or how to go and relate with your suppliers, how to relate with people around you. Those are the things that I learned from, and I took that, and once you learn from it, you never go back into that hole again.
Parapet Cleaning Services has indeed come a long way. Entrepreneurs must be resourceful and effective money managers. To successfully create and sustain a business, entrepreneurs must find and utilize important tools that enable them to grow.
Well, for me, the first resource is the social media. I get a lot of my information from the social media, through Twitter, through Facebook, LinkedIn, and other resources. But every day, it's important for an entrepreneur to learn every day. But I get involved with materials or magazines that relate to services that pertain to cleaning, pertain to hospitality training, and this I get them from, I subscribe to an association called ISSA. I'm an associate member, international.
So what is ISSA?
Well, it stands for International Sanitary Services Association. Another resource that I always also tend to appreciate, thank you, is that of getting mentors. For me, I chose my board of directors to be my mentors. They walk through on a month-to-month basis on areas that allow us to be able to develop. I always say, surround yourself with good people.
Parapet is part of the elite group of top 100 companies in Kenya. To get to such heights does not come overnight. Not only is Alex a key member of the Rotary Club, but he also tells the entrepreneur that he is usually at the office by 6 a.m.
Well, the thing is to most importantly focus on the most important part of your life, which is family. So for me, what I do is ensure that at least every evening, entrepreneurs get busy. And every evening, at least try as much as possible to get to spend time with your family. And the weekends, as much as possible, avoid scheduling business, because you actually have the right to you have the power to create and to control your calendar as you should.
Building a series of ventures is motivating and challenging at the same time.
Expansion is one of the biggest challenges when dealing with that. And I think what's important is to set out structures within the organization that will help build capacity as you grow.
Employees can solve complex problems, give advice that is applicable and relevant, and adapt to newer and greater work than any other asset you have on your balance sheet.
So for me, it's a thing of, it's not a must that you do it yourself. If you're not the expert, don't even get into it. Don't even get into that space. But get the right people to run it for you. One of the things I always believe in is that your strongest asset in any organization is the people. You need to empower them, you need to be able to take good care of them in terms of their welfare, and they will serve you well.
Alex Nyaga's enterprise has created employment opportunities for many. Through his school, many people will get the opportunity to learn about the hospitality industry, which has many gaps that can be filled. These students can be employed by any company that provides cleaning services, including absorbing them into the company itself.
Parapet Cleaning Services is a staff-heavy organization, and the teams out there that report to all the stations, we have a staff complement of over 2,000 staff. So for me, it's a thing where the head office basically takes care of all the units that are out there within the country and in Uganda and so on.
The recipe for a successful brand includes carefully defining what your business represents and delivering a consistent customer experience every time.
One of the things that's critical is if you want to build a business that outlives you, you need to create a good brand of it. And it starts with values. So I think what's important for an entrepreneur to do is to identify what values do you want to build within the organization, what vision do you have for your organization, what mission do you have for your organization, and then now when you rope in all that, then comes the issue of brand. Yeah. Another thing is by also trademarking it. That's the other thing that you need. Those are the legal issues that you need to actually protect your brand, and also ensuring that when you're building those consistencies, be it from your uniforms, be it from how your office is set up, be it from your materials, everything has to be very consistently done. From here and beyond, as you'll see, the floor finishes is very old.
Yes.
It's our legacy that we set up from there in terms of how we started it all. That's where we started off our offices. It was a two-room office. Then now we expanded into this place.
Parapet Cleaning Services has received all manner of recognition, ranging from receiving certificates of appreciation from clients to winning awards in the hospitality industry.
Well, this is a trophy case of Parapet over the years, and where it has grown through, and it's been something that we've continued to admire as part of our little successes.
Successful entrepreneurs have to manage a lot of tasks. Many feel that they are too busy for much of anything else, especially community involvement, but that is not the case with Alex.
I'm a person who loves giving. I'm a philanthropist, and for me it's important as businessmen and women to be able to actually give back to our communities. And looking at projects that are sustainable, and there are a lot of projects that are out there. And for me, it's just to also look at, as an entrepreneur, what else are you doing? What kind of destiny do you want to live within your organization? As much as you're looking at focusing on profits, at the same time, it's important to share.
The start of any venture is exciting, but in order to get to the levels that Alex Nyaga is in, one has to not only be committed, but work smart.
Entrepreneurship is a journey, and it's a long journey, and can be very hard. And it's something that one needs to keep focus on. And if it doesn't work out, do something different. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. You can be able to try out something new that will be able to add value to other generations to come. So for me, simple. Look at the camera, click it away. It's not a good shot, rub it off, take another one.
A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. Henry Ford. Lesson? Sure, the bottom line is important, but it's not the only thing. A business should be more than about making money. It should give something back to the world and inspire passion in employees.
Some of the most famous international serial entrepreneurs include the likes of Richard Branson, Oprah Winfrey, and Magic Johnson. It takes a lot to become a serial entrepreneur, like you've heard from the story of Alex Nyaga. Now it's time to take a quick commercial break. Please don't go anywhere because we have a lot lined up for you. So see you shortly. It is not unusual for people to change careers. People change careers for different reasons. Others change so that they can be able to balance their work life and family life better. Others change so that they can have a better pay. Some change because the skills they have are not a good fit for the career that they chose. The reasons are many. But is it the right move? Talking to us about this leap is one Pamela Muyeshi. She used to be an IT expert. Hi, Pamela.
Hi, Paul.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Let me pull the seat for you.
Oh, thank you for being a gentleman.
So you used to be an IT expert. What happened and you changed course?
Actually, I still am, because once you train in some of these things, you still remain with the knowledge and skill. The only thing that has changed, of course, is that I stopped working as a full-time IT expert and moved into starting my own business. And if I compare, I think, my lifestyle then and what I had to contend with when I started my business, I had to drop a lot of luxuries that I used to enjoy as an employee.
Amaica serves authentic African food, and Pamela tells the entrepreneur that when getting into this journey, one has to be in the know of the untapped markets and opportunities out there.
When you're looking at going into a business, one of the things I told myself is that since I was going to have to make the difficult choice, because it's not easy to quit my job and go into something totally new, I must go into something that I was convinced I'm ready to do for a long time. Let me put it that way.
Amaica serves a wide variety of African dishes which are not only authentic but healthy too. According to Pamela, the food speaks volumes about our culture, and she therefore seeks to provide an unforgettable African experience.
Because I would see the caliber of clientele who would go to try and get a good decent traditional food, but they would end up in kiosks. So I thought, that if I tried to set up something fairly decent and presented food, the same traditional food, probably prepared better, and the environment being more conducive, I would not go wrong.
She plans to expand her business further by opening a third branch at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport.
Other than just the expansion of the restaurant line, my agenda is to actually start packaging the indigenous vegetables, doing some value addition, and actually rolling them out in the market, ready to cook and eventually probably cooked ready to eat.
Some people are fortunate to have enough capital when starting out. This was not the case for Pamela, whose starting capital was only 20,000 shillings.
I used to sell barafu, the iced flavored water, the one that you sell to the school children. That's how I started. And I just needed 20,000.
But when you get the 20,000, you see that
I was employed. So just from my saving, I was able to raise that very easily from the salary I used to have. And then I bought a second-hand chiller, the upright chillers.
Yes.
And there was a small machine that I would use for sealing. And the cool boxes, and 3 bicycles. I must admit that it was different in the sense that I had income from my job, which is different from someone who's starting a business like that and they are relying on it full time.
She has had an interesting journey indeed, from selling flavored ice to selling clothes to even selling Japanese cars online. These ventures enabled her to open up Amaica at a cost of 6.5 million, all thanks to her savings.
Ultimately, I knew this is what I wanted to do, but how do you raise the money? Because in Kenya, financial institutions don't invest in ideas. Unfortunately, that's the truth. They only invest in existing businesses, something they can see already happening. Now, for you to get to that level, if you do not have, if your background is such that your parents cannot finance your setup, or you don't have friends who believe in you and can do that, how do you get there? Because you must. So that's what I had to do.
3 bicycles.
Yes.
Pamela tells the entrepreneur that one of the biggest challenges is managing human resource. She was tempted to go back to employment during her journey.
When I was just transitioning from now quitting my full-time job at Federation of Kenya Employers, that was my last employer, as head of IT, into Amaica, to run Amaica on a full-time basis. I did that, and three months down the line, I got auctioned. So you absolutely have nothing. And all my friends are like, oh, Pam, why did you, they got scared, real scared. And I was scared too. It wasn't the easiest moment for me, but I had to deal with it. What then I did is I liquidated one of my assets, and you won't believe it, I actually bought back my own stuff from auctioneers. The reason why I actually had to buy these things back is because they were uniquely fabricated or manufactured for Amaica.
Amaica's decor adds to the authentic African experience.
Pamela, now that we're here at Amaica, why don't we go to a different place to continue with the interview, seeing that we have different places that we can
also
get to see.
I think that's a good idea. I can show you around
All
so
right.
you get to appreciate what we've been able to do.
All right. So along this journey, what sacrifices have you made? Have you lost some friends? Have people criticized you and all that?
Oh, Paul, there are several sacrifices. I think the first the first sacrifice that anybody who's going into business and you're starting from scratch will have to make is your lifestyle has to change. There are 2 things, Paul. When you go into entrepreneurship, and these are the learnings I have had to, unfortunately, go through. It's called learning on the job. You will never be taught these things in any business school. When you start a restaurant or any business for that matter, what I did, and it's a mistake, is you look at the established hotels or restaurants. First of all, I'm not a professional hotelier, okay? So I'm relying on the goodwill of those in the industry. Now, when you consult them, unfortunately, most of them have been employees throughout. None of them is an entrepreneur. So what they'll do? They'll copy and paste the structure that they have in their existing establishment, not knowing that the structure they have is being supported by the revenue they are generating. Now, one of the things I did is that I had to take up a lot of the responsibilities that I would otherwise employ people to do, because the revenue we were generating could not support the kind of structure I would have initially wanted to set up. So you are not available to your friends. Your social life basically dies. If you have a family, Paul, that family suffers.
She may not be an expert in the hotel industry, but knows too well the importance of increasing your knowledge base as an entrepreneur.
I think one of the major lessons for me has been the aspect of being realistic about the cash flow of your business, irrespective whether you are Mama Mboga, whether you are multinational, whether you are an SME. The challenge is this: you have these obligations to meet, and you have this revenue that you're generating. So how do you then bring those two together to work for your business? Now, if you can deal with that one aspect of your business, I think you're many miles ahead. One of the other challenges I have learned is that if you are convinced and passionate about what you have decided to do, it will give you the heart to stay put when things get very rough, because they will surely do.
Balancing work and family is tough. There are times when Pamela is forced to sacrifice this valuable time.
There's no way you can run a restaurant successfully, or any business, let me put it that way, and stay the same person. When you decide to go into entrepreneurship, you completely change. There are things I do today, the way I think, the decisions I make, the risks I take now, I would not have done that before. I think for me, I'm very happy that I made the decision that I did to move out of employment and start something of my own. It's been a very fulfilling experience, because then what entrepreneurship does is it opens up opportunities for you to utilize your potential.
This food looks assumption.
The one must-have ingredient is passion.
So the first thing is to get your idea right. And the idea that you are coming up with should be something that you're willing to die for. For me, that's critical. You are ready to sacrifice anything and everything to have the idea work.
You have a lot of barriers set in front of you just being a woman. So if you're not strong in yourself and in what you want to do and believe in what you want to do, it's going to be very difficult. So you have to set your goals. You have to, before you set your goals, actually have objectives to how you're going to achieve those goals, and then and pursue that step by step.
Now I must leave you, but please remember to engage us on our social media pages. It's Facebook, KTN The Entrepreneur, Twitter, KTN Entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneur with an inspiring story, or if you know any entrepreneur with that inspiring story, kindly email us on entrepreneur@standardmedia.co.ke. As of now, I want to engage on this African cuisine here at Amaica restaurant. It's goodbye and God bless you.